What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Morning Brew podcast. I'm your host, Kayla, and I'm interviewing creatives every other week so that you get the experience behind their art. Before we get started, make sure you're following the podcast on Spotify, Instagram, YouTube, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. This week, I have Tennessee-based singer-songwriter Maggie Miles on the show. I'll be chatting with Maggie about her past projects, her latest music, and her fan base, the Amphibians. Welcome to the show. Could we start with your name and where you're from?
Hello, I am Maggie Miles, and I am based out of Nashville, Tennessee.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit more about you. How did you get into music?
I always just say the same thing whenever people ask me that, and it's that I had to. Music kind of found me, to be honest, and it connected with me at a young age, and then once I started figuring out how to communicate my emotions through instrument, something just clicked for me, and has always been the North Star. I'm like, well, this makes the most sense to me. This is where I feel the most Maggie. So that's kind of the extent of it, honestly.
That's awesome. Was there any one song or album that you can remember that sort of sparked that initial interest for you?
Not necessarily. I feel like my parents both had a very different taste in music when I was growing up. Like, they had some crossover, of course, but my mom loves 80s, very rhythmic, extravagant, great big sweeping melodies type of stuff, like Hall & Oates, Phil Collins, Genesis. Michael Jackson was big in our house. And then my dad really raised me on alternative music and 90s. I mean, he's the one that introduced me to Paramore in 2007, and then Foo Fighters and Coldplay too. I mean, even so, pop and the Beatles. I feel like they both kind of just had a really eclectic thing going on with music, and I was drawn to different things in all of those, but at the end of the day, I feel like it was me understanding how chords worked, and then moving those chords around on the piano and just kind of making my own songs. That's really what it did for me.
That's so cool. Yeah, definitely. And I hear you're really into 90s grunge and find a lot of inspiration there. What is it about grunge that speaks to you?
Thanks for asking. I think definitely I have a soft spot for that era because I was born kind of on the edge of it. I'm right on that cusp of grunge into Y2K, when I was literally born. And so there's an aspect of that feels so just how I was raised, and I'm always going to be having an ear to the ground for something like that, or drawn to songs that they are recorded in that way. But I think I love it because I know it and it feels familiar. But I love it because there's something about the rawness of that type of music where it's a bit less concerned with the presentation and more so concerned with the emotion or honesty. And I think you can say that with a lot of different genres. I mean, you could say that about jazz. You could say it about hip-hop, any sort of rock. I don't know. Does that make sense? Yeah. Just kind of it's not super cleaned up, I mean, literally, I have a couple of posters of Kurt in here just kind of doing his thing. He's just somebody that made me feel like expression is honesty.
I like that a lot.
When I believe somebody, when they're singing.
That makes a lot of sense. No, I definitely get what you mean. And your first album, Am I Drowning or Just Learning How to Swim, came out in 2020. I'd love to hear more about the story behind that album.
Yeah, I mean, before moving to Nashville, was doing music up in Virginia, where I'm from originally, where I'm born and raised. And so I put out an EP and put out some songs, and then I moved to Nashville because I signed a deal.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so they, you know, sometimes at the beginning of a deal, they'll like have you take down your music. So I took down that project and just, you know, all that stuff and kind of basically like started over. It was like, okay, we're starting fresh. And some of those songs, like I had written, you know, 3-4 years before that album came out, but it didn't matter. Like there's a saying kind of in the music industry that I've heard where people are like, you spend your whole life writing your first album, and I kind of agree with it, where you have so much, you have your whole time that you discover how to communicate through music until releasing it to really get kind of a grip on it. And I think I'm still very fond of that album. I stand by it. I think that it's a good first step.
Mm-hmm.
I think I like it more now than I did, which is funny.
Okay.
The things that I was insecure about at 20 about it are just like not the same. It's like the reason I like it now.
I gotcha. That makes sense. Do any of the songs off that album have a particularly unique backstory or inspiration behind them?
I mean, woof. Yeah, I mean, definitely. There's a ton of them. What Do I Say comes to mind because when I wrote the chorus to that song, the like company label thing that I was signed to, they had this little like, they had a studio, not even little, it was a full-blown studio, and I recorded a lot of that album in that studio. It was amazing. But I would go into that and like they had a grand piano, and I would go in there and just write. It was really nice because having a real piano versus like a keyboard to play on. Do you play instruments? I wanted to ask you that.
I do. I am self-taught on the drums, and so I know what you mean because I have an electric kit at my apartment, but I just started taking like actual lessons on real drums, and it is so different.
Dude, that's badass. I love that you play drums.
Thank you.
That's amazing.
I'm trying to learn string instruments, but my brain does not comprehend those.
I don't know. Be patient with yourself. Rhythm, I think to play any instrument, you need rhythm. So if that is easy to you, you can get through building some calluses on your fingers.
That's true.
Honestly. I really really believe that, because I know people who they have like they have a good ear, or they're a good singer or whatever, but sometimes the mechanical movement of playing guitar just doesn't click for them because of a rhythm thing.
Gotcha.
And they're all valid, they're all necessary, but I don't know. I think you have an advantage if you really connect with rhythm. Yeah. Be patient with yourself.
Okay, I'll keep trying. I'll keep trying for sure.
Yeah. Oh, what do I say? Yeah. So I would go in that room and like play on a real piano, and it was nice. And I had lived in Nashville for maybe 5 or 6 days. I super knew the city, didn't know anybody here at all when I moved here. I had never even been here when I moved here.
Oh wow.
Just moved, and my family dropped me off, and they were like sick, and they were like really proud of me and sweet. But I was like, bye guys, because I didn't go to college. I just kind of like started just going for it as soon as I graduated high school. That summer I played my first show and just kind of was like, this is what I want. This is what I want to do. And anyway, to kind of get acclimated, I would just go to that studio and just play there. I felt like I had a place to kind of belong, you know?
That's so cool.
And wrote the little like whatever the little thingy is on the piano. And the chorus like fell out of my mouth of like, what do I say, as a placeholder.
Oh, okay.
I had every intention of going back and writing real lyrics, but it was almost like a tongue-in-cheek of like, what do I say? Like it felt like it was, this is the melody, and I'll write the actual chorus lyrics at some point. But after like some time with it, I was like, wait, this is the chorus, I think. And then I kind of unraveled what it was I was truly saying in the song eventually when I went back and wrote the verses and the bridge and all that. But I just think it's kind of cool because I wasn't even being serious when I wrote it, and then it ended up being a thing.
No, that's so cool. I find that a lot of the best like creative things almost happen as a joke or on accident, and I think that's pretty
Totally.
funny.
Absolutely. Sometimes the first thing out of my mouth, actually, a lot of times, especially on my first two kind of records, it was me just kind of bleh, like whatever comes out first, sing that feels good, follow that, figure out what you mean by that. And then I kind of fumble through the song and kind of zoom out and I'm like, I think this is what I'm saying here. Um, and be more intentional. But I've actually really changed that recently. And I've been kind of going in more intentionally with my songwriting of what do I feel right now? I'm going to say how I feel rather than just kind of like mumble a vibe and be like, oh, that's what I said. I guess that's how I feel, which can also be completely true. But yeah, I've just been trying to kind of follow a more direct path, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's cool, and it's also like a little bit scary. I've had another friend tell me that, when you're putting your whole feelings and your whole truth out there, it's like worse than being like naked on stage. It's like your insides are on display, and whether or not people are going to receive that. Like, do you ever have any like fears about that?
Absolutely. I think 1000% being naked on stage would be worse, but and that's never happened. So I actually can't even speak on that. But yeah, I'm joking. It is scary. It gets easier over time, but I sometimes joke that I'm vulnerable for a living. That's kind of my thing, where it's like, I want to do the real thing, not, you know, at least that's how I feel as an artist myself. It doesn't mean that it's the right thing for everybody. I don't know.
No,
Yeah.
I like that. I prefer realness to the kind of fake social media kind of stuff, so I enjoy that. And your most recent album, A Humble Extension, came out just a few months ago. How do you feel your music has evolved from the first album to this one?
I mean, a lot. It's funny, Spotify and Apple Music say that that's an album. And I think it technically is because of the number of songs. But to me, it doesn't feel like a proper, like, Maggie Miles record, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
So I've been calling it an EP. And that's also why it's called A Humble Extension.
Oh,
Because it
I
just kind
gotcha.
of feels like this group. It's also the first lyric on the entire project is me saying, let me give a humble extension. Because those songs kind of span over the course of like a few years, kind of while I was caught up in the tail end of that deal that I was in. I was in kind of a waiting space, waiting to be able to release my second album, The Lack Thereof. And so I just was writing and working with a lot of different producers. And so I was going in and kind of just really connecting with this like electronic, very driven, more aggressive side. And I can look back and I'm like, yeah, I was angry. I was in an angry point. I was processing things. I was maybe a little bit more like struggling, dark mentally. But it's really funny because I'm now working on a proper record, like a full-length album that I have written over the course of this past year. And it feels like the next piece. And I really like A Humble Extension. I wouldn't have put it out if I didn't like it. But it definitely feels like this is a little like, you stick out a little bit, little weirdo. I kind of love it. It's just a weird, I don't know. Yeah, I don't really know how to explain it.
No, that it definitely makes
Interesting
sense.
project.
It makes sense. One of the
Yeah.
songs is called Carophobia, which is the fear of joy or happiness. Is that something that you feel often?
I don't know. Who doesn't
Right, yeah.
struggle with that sometimes? I think it's gotten better. There are some people in my life that I can really point a finger to and say thank you, letting me know that it's okay to accept things and to feel worthy of things. But I really and trying to work on my self-worth and view of myself. And I think that song is some of my lasting remnants of letting that go and trying to learn how to not. So much so that it's like an inside joke almost with my touring bandmates, like the people that I bring out on the road who are incredible and I love them. On the set list, we'll usually write fear of chairs just because it's just funny. Like, it's just like we kind of try to keep like a light, because my music's kind of like, you know, it's talking about serious stuff sometimes, and it's nice to be like, hey, we're doing this because we love music, you know.
Yeah.
And it's also really fun to play that song. It's, yeah, very aggressive. I definitely let out a lot.
I feel like that's therapeutic.
Yeah. I'm sure you understand, dude. Like, when you play a certain song, you're like, dude, I need it.
I love that I can hit it as hard as I can and it is not gonna break, usually.
Dude. Do you mind if I ask what type of kit you have? You said it's an electric kit?
Yeah, it's like, it's kind of old. It's a hand-me-down from my uncle. I think it's
Cool.
Yamaha, but I'll double check and I'll
Nice.
send you a picture and I'll let you know.
That's sick. Does it have, like, the, like, velocity? Like, if you smack it harder, it's, like, louder in the headphones?
I think so, but some of it is like
Yeah.
either really sensitive or not sensitive at all. So like specifically like
Totally.
the foot pedal for the hi-hat is like so stupid.
I love that. You don't need that at all.
I know, right? I'm
That's
like,
so
man,
funny.
come on. Yeah, it's so goofy. But anyways, I definitely think that you're not alone in that feeling because I do the same thing and I'm like so prone to self-sabotaging when I get close to something that I want because I'm scared of it or imposter syndrome and everything. But I like to sort of use the platform as a chance to reflect positively on things. And so I would like to ask you, what is something recently that you're just really proud of?
That's really sweet. Honestly, for a long time, I had like a team when I was younger and like a lot of help and like all this stuff going on music industry wise. Post COVID now, not as much. I'm kind of like flying solo, super indie, don't really know what the heck I'm doing.
Me either, that's okay.
But when I was in that era, there was a lot of just questions circulating like, hey, like, what is this group of people you're trying to reach? Like, are they like the Maggie fan club? Like, what are they called, you know? And I had an experience that is its own story, where I was like, I feel like they're called Amphibians, and it was its own thing. And when I presented it to the people who were in my life at that time, they were like, I don't get it. Like, it's dumb. I don't really understand. Which they're completely allowed to think that. Maybe I didn't do a good job of explaining it. But the way that I feel about it now is it wasn't time yet. And 2-3 years later, I finally kind of just decided, okay, I think it's time. And I am so proud of the way that people have responded to it. The way that who these people are who are like, I'm an amphibian. I'm just really proud of them because they themselves have built this like really beautiful community that I'm just proud of them. All they do is encourage each other. They create things. A lot of them are musicians and artists in different ways, creatives. And we have like a Discord server and, you know, there's like an account on Instagram or whatever. But it's completely just this beautiful, self-contained kind of thing. And over time, I've like kind of like let go a little bit more and more. I'm like, wow, this really has nothing to do with me. And it's the coolest thing in the world. You know what I mean? Like, it's, you know, I've facilitated it and it was something that I feel like was given to me. But the way that they've taken that and run with it, you know, like when I go out on stage at a show, like I see a bunch of frogs out there and it's like the coolest thing in the world. So I guess when I think of what I'm proud of, it honestly has nothing to do with me and everything to do with them.
That's so
So,
cool. I mean, it's kind of like holding up a mirror to yourself in a way, because you're like a catalyst for this, and you're giving people, a safe space to be themselves and to be frogs and amphibians and whoever they might choose to be. And I think that's, not something to take lightly.
thanks, dude.
Yeah, of course. And that's kind of a good transition because my friend Justin is actually who recommended your stuff to me, and he told me that you love
Oh,
frogs. And I've got a tattoo of a frog with a cowboy hat because I too
no
love
way.
frogs. And anytime I see them on my runs in the summer, I take selfies with all the frogs that I see. So it's like a running joke. I'll send you
Oh,
some of them later because they're pretty stupid.
please
But
do. Where's your frog
it's
tattoo? Is it
like
like on your
it's
arm?
on my arm, but like the side that's like touches my ribs. So it's like kind of hidden, kind of not.
Cool.
But
Like the
yeah, yeah,
stomach,
right there.
like kind of like tucked.
Hmm. Just a little fun
Cool.
surprise for everybody. But
I love
yeah, I
it.
was gonna ask if frogs are your favorite animal.
They're not
Oh,
actually.
okay.
Yeah, hot take. I think they're adorable. I think they're
Facts, they
cool.
are.
They're cool. Yeah, I like relate to them. But yeah, no, I actually really love otters. I think they're so
Otters? Oh,
cute.
I love how otters have like a favorite rock that they'll just hold on to. That's so me coded for real.
They also like they mate for life, and whenever animals are like that, I'm like, you're cute. Like like they experience like love on that level. That's adorable to
Little
me.
otter soulmates. That's so
Yeah,
awesome.
they just I don't know the way they like float around. They're just cool, man. They're cool
No,
animals.
that's definitely cool. And so we're kind of
They're cute.
transitioning now into like kind of sillier questions because I enjoy a
Fair.
silly question, to be honest. And
Oh yeah.
we already talked about carophobia, but the question based off
Yep.
that is, do you have any irrational fears?
I mean,
Like nothing is too
fair.
stupid, to be fair. I'm like so irrationally scared of whales.
Oh, okay. Actually, I have one.
Okay,
If
I'm
you're
ready.
saying that, but it's not irrational. It's completely
I'll
rational to
take
me.
that too.
Bears, dude.
Like all of them, or just a specific kind of bear?
Every bear, they're scary. They really scare me.
That's fair. I'm like pretty scared of like large birds.
Like a turkey
Like a
vulture,
shoebill.
they're majestic for sure. I'd stay away.
Yeah, anything that looks like
Yeah.
I could fit a human inside of it, no thank you.
Sure. Yeah. Any like big cat, like it doesn't mean that I don't think it's cool. Like bears are like an incredible animal. Like they're literally aren't they like
I
apex? Like
think so.
they're like up there.
I'm sure they must be.
I just the respect I want from a distance. Like I don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that definitely makes sense. Like you're cool, but like stay away.
Please. Yeah.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Another one of your songs is I'm always smiling when I'm crying about you. Adjacent to that topic, what was the last thing that made you cry laughing?
I work in a coffee shop,
Classic.
so I like see a lot.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like people are weird.
I
Uh,
used to work at a Starbucks,
yeah.
so I definitely
Hmm.
understand.
I also worked at Starbucks, dude. Man, we've paid our dues with
Twins.
the bucks. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a different like I put that in a different category than coffee shop to
Oh,
me.
yeah, because the customers are wild. I had a lady once come up to me and she ordered, I didn't know at the time that we weren't allowed to do this, by the way, so Starbucks
Hmm.
corporate don't come for me. But someone
Like
ordered
you're fine.
30 shots of espresso with 30 pumps of white mocha in a venti cup,
Huh?
right? And so I'm here thinking, okay, that's close to a Thai iced coffee. Surely she's bringing this home for her 12 children and will add her own milk
She's sharing
at
this with a
home.
community.
Surely
Yeah.
this could feed a town. And she, I made this, and the espresso machine like only does like in one, two, or three shots. So I sat there
Totally.
for 10 3-shot options with 30 pumps of white mocha, and she asked me for a straw, and I was like, no, no, you're not. And she literally put the straw in and started drinking it and walked away. It was like a $40
No.
drink. And I think
Ew.
she could go into cardiac
That's not
arrest.
safe. That's, yeah, no, that's so unsafe. I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, I was in shock. I surely thought she was
Bro,
sharing this with people.
that's so bold, to say the least.
Yeah, very whack.
All right, I'll be thinking of her
Yeah,
for
she's
sure.
in my thoughts.
She's in my thoughts and
She has been in
prayers.
my thoughts for the last 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like the last time I cried laughing was probably with my best friends who I've grown up with, and I get to see them tomorrow. We're all long distance best friends. We've known each other for like literally one of them I've known for like 12 or
Oh,
15
I love
years, and
that.
then the other one yeah, no, we go way back. The bond is
Hey,
strong.
best friend.
It's also hilarious.
Oh
Oh, what did you say? I'm so
no,
sorry.
I was just saying hi to your best friends.
Oh, thank you. They'll know exactly who you are. I feel like Kayla says hey. And they're like, ugh, Kayla.
Kayla with the frog
Oh
tattoo.
no.
Okay, so the last thing that I do is a segment called Artists Ask Artists. So the last guest on
Cool.
my show has a question for you, and then you can ask anything for my next guest. So,
I love
my
it.
last guest, I don't know if you're familiar with the hit Nickelodeon show House of Anubis or not, but Brad Kavanaugh, who plays Fabian on that show, would like to know what is one skill or
Cool.
discipline that you wish you had or could do?
Just in
Yeah.
general, I would love to know how to restore a beat up car or truck.
Oh, that would be sick.
And I could learn, hence it being a skill that I could develop. I do believe I would have to sacrifice a lot of time that I could be like making
Yeah.
music, unfortunately, and that always is going to come first. But I just really like the idea of having like a beat up car that I'm kind of always chipping away at. And I think that that's a skill that I would really love to know how to. Like, I can do basic stuff. I've changed a battery before, I can change tires, but I want to be able to like change my own oil and like fix the frickin', something aerator or
Yeah,
whatever,
right.
alternator, all the aiders in there. And I think it's a really good skill, and I have a lot of mechanic shirts, and it's time that they get put to use.
That would be so awesome. I'm like very much the fix
Yeah.
it kind of gay, so I I think that sounds awesome.
Yeah, dude. I would love to be able to fix. I don't know. I just think it'd be such a fun skill, and I could like help my friends. Like, I don't know. It'd be cool.
Yeah, no, anytime like anything goes wrong with my car, I feel so stupid when I have to call like AAA. And my dad for Christmas got me like a tire, like a portable tire inflator. And so
Oh,
I always
sick.
feel so badass when I'm like, yeah, I know how to inflate my own tires from the parking lot. Like, don't worry about
I don't
me.
have to go to Circle
Yeah,
K.
right. I don't have to ask anyone to help me. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It just takes forever.
That's so cool. I love that.
Yeah, okay, and so now you can ask anything for my next guest, but I don't know who it is yet, so I unfortunately have no hints for you.
That's okay. I know what I'm gonna
Okay,
ask.
I'm ready.
You are sitting in a restaurant or public
Hmm.
place. The waiter walks over, they're holding a phone, and they're like, hey, ma'am or sir or they, whoever this next guest is, you have someone on the other line. The only clue that you know is it is that it is a famous musician who is no longer here,
Okay.
but you don't know who is on the other
Hmm.
line. Who are you hoping for it to be?
Ooh, that's a great question.
Thank you.
I like that a lot. And that was also so, like, on the fly. Like, I'm impressed.
Thank you. Yeah, I kind of figured it out as I went along there. I wasn't sure where it was going, but
I love it.
I think it'd be so cool if you're like, who is it? Is it Elvis? Is it Elliott Smith?
My grandma would die if it was Elvis.
How you doing, Mama?
Oh my god, she would pass away. Classic. All right, and then last but not least, is there any like shameless self promo that you would like to drop? Like, where can people find you? Anything you want to promote?
I'll just say this. You can listen to Maggie Miles everywhere you listen to music. I'm on Bandcamp. I'm on Apple Music. I'm on Spotify, Amazon, YouTube. Listen to my music and come out to a show. I'd love to meet you.
Yeah, you're going on tour soon, right?
Mm-hmm.
How exciting.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Cool. Okay, well, thanks so much for joining. I'm so glad that you were interested.
Yeah, dude.
That's all for today's episode, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Links to Maggie's music and socials are going to be linked in the description below. Once again, make sure you're following the podcast on Spotify, Instagram, YouTube, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Join me in 2 weeks for an interview with Brandon from the band Wave Station.